last, well, second to last, or I think there's like three more conferences, but nearing the end of the tenure of the class of 2019. Congratulations. Your last few shifts in the ED. I know that some of you are counting down. Many of you have maybe about 5 shifts left here in Brooklyn with us. It has been a pleasure. Your class will always have a special place in my heart. You were the beginning of my tenure as program director. And so I believe that in these last 4 years, we both grew up together. Thank you very much for your patience in the transition. And the many transitions that we've had over the last 4 years. You guys have been wonderful, excellent examples of leaders, and you really carried me through in these last 4 years, so thank you. So it is a special day, and we have started this tradition of our alumni conference maybe about 5 years ago, where we like to start off with inviting some of our alumni guests to come back and to share in some of the wonderful things that they are doing with their careers. As an inspiration to you all who are graduating and to our residents who are here current, that this is definitely a special place and you guys are training at a special place. And your successes are our successes. And so we start off with this very inspirational conference. Now we go to our award ceremony, and later on this evening we will give out more awards. Thanks to Ms. Lane, we will be festing, which is the Brooklyn way of saying we will be partying into the wee hours later on this evening. So please make sure you guys join us at the house. So the awards this morning are going to be the Division Awards and the Mini Fellowship Awards, which you see our wonderful esteemed faculty on the stage. But before we do that, I want to read a very short quote by Henry Thoreau, who says, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined." And I want to remind all of the graduates that when you sat down in the offices with us, I interviewed, if not all of you, many of you, and you sat there nervously during your interview day, and you promised us all these wonderful things that you were going to do if you could get to Kings County. You've done most of them, maybe about 10%, it's okay. But this is your opportunity to fulfill those dreams. It was not about the 4 years of residency, but what this residency could do for you in the rest of your careers. And I hope that that's what you've learned through today and through the 4 or 5 years of your residency training. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of that training and to have a small little blip in your lives. And we challenge you to remember when you sat down nervously in that interview chair and carry that with you for the next many, many years of your career. So, as we proceed to this wonderful day, we will start off with the Division Awards. So for those families who are visiting and for the alumni, just to recall, our residents are not just clinical monsters in the clinical area, but they are leaders outside of the clinical area, and we want to thank them for their contributions and what they've done through the department. And so we will start off with the Division Award for Administration, and our wonderful administration leaders, Dr. Berman still there? Yes. Oh, right there, great. Dr. Berman and Dr. Mehta would like to come up.
So the Admin Award is going to go to Dr. Bobak Zinner this year. And we've been really lucky to work with Bobak on both sides of the street doing admin. He's been a huge proponent of all of you guys, and I really think he's been a great liaison between the residents and all of us. He always brings humor to our ED operations meetings, and really, I think, has been one of the biggest advocates for you guys. The schedule obviously is not the most fun part of his job, but he's done a great job. And we tried really hard to keep Bo back here, and we're really going to miss him, but I hope that you know that you always have a home here in Brooklyn, and that we hope you come back after your fellowship.
Just wanted to echo whatever Dr. Mehta said, and I've worked personally with Bobak on other projects, and he's been great with it, and actually learned just as much. Thank you.
Okay, the next division award will be research with Dr. Smith.
For the research award, cut.
Very athletic and straight to the point, just straight to the data. All right, simulation. All of our wonderful simulation divisions.
Sim Shadows.
So we're doing division ones. So I have the pleasure to present the award to Miguel. Just want to thank him so much. A year ago, he came so excited, so many ideas and things, and with Matt Ricenti, we had so many plans, and I just wanted to give him the division award for making procedure day a possibility and just making it happen. So this is for you, Miguel, and congratulations on your fellowship. I think it's just the division awards. Yes.
It is my great pleasure to award Dr. Granados, Jesus Granados, with a division award for his amazing work with Procedure Labs, his amazing organization and enthusiasm. Jesus? Sí, me acerco.
He's going to take it over.
It's my pleasure to give this award to Nyla Delgado, Dr. Delgado. Please come up here. She's been really amazing in simulation. She's done the most amazing low fidelity models. The last one was the lateral canthotomy and the cricothyrotomy. So we really thank you. You've been involved since you've been an intern with us, and it's really appreciated, and we're happy for you to stay on with us.
Student Ed.
All right. I think it goes without saying I'm going to try to be brief. I am working right now, so thanks for inviting me. I think it goes without saying that our emergency medicine department is amazing, especially when it comes to student education. We're consistently viewed as student-friendly and all-inclusive and welcoming to all the students from SUNY Downstate and visiting students who come and visit us every year. As you know, we teach multiple courses from the fourth year EM clerkship to MS1, MS2 introductory courses to electives in chem, toxicology, ultrasound, wilderness. And as you know from my many pleas and emails, student education could not happen without all of your help. So thank you for all of you guys for stepping up and helping, especially with clerkship. This class, graduating class alone, the residents in this class, 2/3 of you guys have volunteered, stepped up, given a lecture, done facilitating small groups. So this class in particular has been very active in student education. I want to thank all of you guys for the help that you've done to educate our students. I do want to highlight a few members of the graduating class who have made a consistent commitment to student education. Starting with Nyla Delgado. Nyla has been a dynamic when it comes to student education. She had a late start getting involved during her third and fourth years, but really with the zeal of a convert has taken student ed on with a fervor. She took over for the ultramyositis fever group after Ben Kaufman, who set some really high standards for her. And she would have been a tough act to follow, but Nyla, with her wonderful, her compassion, her integrity, really took on her responsibilities as a team leader, organizing her crew with efficiency and hopefully not too much harassment. She has become one of my most reliable resident leaders, and I look forward to working together next year. Thank you, Nyla. The next award goes to, is a request from Sage Wiener, who does our pre-clinical student education, so MS1s, MS2s. And he would like to, and I would as well like to give special thanks to Idamar.
Not here.
Not here. Can I still say words about him?
Yes.
Okay. He was an active leader for the clerkship, but also went above and beyond when he served as the resident coordinator for the first year and second year EM elective for an unprecedented 3 years in a row, which meant that during that time he went to Western Beef twice during each one of those, or once during each of those courses, I think about 6 or 7 times, to get an entire case of pig's feet and get them ready for the suture lab. And for that alone, he should deserve this award. But he also coordinated the lectures for the MS1 and MS2 students. Did a great job, and so congratulations to Idamar for a job well done. I also want to thank Sana Afawala, for being an active member of Team Cardiopulmonary since her second year of residency. For the last 3 years, Sana has been reliably waking up early on Thursday mornings to give the first lecture of our didactic curriculum and facilitate small group sessions going over EKGs and chest x-ray things. This is no small task. Now the weather is lovely, but you have to remember this course happens year-round, so Sana would have to brave the cold, dark, winter mornings to get there on time. So thank you very much for your 3 years of commitment to student education. I think it comes as no surprise. Matt Rusinti was involved with point-of-care ultrasound. Students. You may have heard of it. He was a regular bedside educator and teacher of ultrasonography for our students. He took it upon himself to revamp the sono curriculum within the clerkship, making ultrasound a more integrated role, playing a larger role within the course curriculum itself. He also played an important role in getting the Clarius grant for SUNY Downstate. As an institution, this is not just for EM, but as an institution, we now have 10 handheld sonos for student education, and because of Matt's insistence, specifically for our departments, educating of students alone. So, Matt, thank you for the work that you've done in improving. Last but not least, I think it's also not in surprising fashion but our soon-to-be next year's Med Ed Fellow also played an active role in student education in the EM clerkship. Taylor got involved, Taylor Searles got involved early on. Most of you know me to step up to campus as an intern. He was inspired to create and then personally deliver the monthly Kahoot-style review series of lectures for our students. These consistently get top feedback from our medical students. They're fun, they're entertaining, and we've had most of our students very, very small, but have passed the shelf because of him. His commitment to student education is continuing next year, where I am pleased to call him a colleague and continue our relationship together next year. So thank you, Taylor.
Okay, and let's see.
We all just talked about the multimedia component.
Giant picture of that.
Pay no attention to any Asian identifying. So yes, I think it was my wife who first recognized there's a direct linear relationship between how long I've been awake and how quietly I speak and how much I say. So some of you may have seen this on shift. I'm at about 34 hours up, so my apologies. This is something special. This is the first ever Matt Racinti ultrasound that was ever done. If you'll notice, it's complete garbage. Nothing of value, redeemable. He thinks he's seeing a kidney, he passes through the bladder, he gets lost. I don't know. And no interpretation. So anyway, for any people that kind of get frustrated with comparing themselves to that, to be able to go from that to all this in 4 years, I think it's pretty unique and pretty impressive. And so that's what we want to recognize from the division today. So my general thoughts on residency is that you guys don't owe us anything. You're kind of here to learn to be kind, to keep being smart, and to keep respecting patients. And you're just kind of here to see us succeed as attendings, see where we falter, try to figure out like where our missteps are, what you want to do differently when you're on your own. And so it's kind of fun when you get a resident that comes up that really does teach you a lot and make you change a lot of things that you do as an attending. And Matt was kind of the pain in the butt resident who did all that. I remember when people started talking about division, about this project he was going under, and they kind of sent out a warning. They're like, if anyone says yes to him, he's just going to drive you nuts. He has way too much energy. No one can handle this. Be very careful with what you agree to this person. And more than incredibly happy I did. And that was the resident who would text me at midnight saying, what do you think about this image? This is what I think it is. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to publish this in the morning. Get back to me. And I would spend the next 3 hours trying to research it, figure out what in the world is he talking about? What sort of evidence is there? I don't know this. Does he know this? Does anyone know this? Okay, 7 a.m. Maybe I can get a comment back to him, and that's it. So it was pretty fun, like for the last several years, to like go into that whole journey with Matt and work on this project. Beyond that, at a personal level, Matt's really given me a lot. Several years ago, some of you may remember we were losing a couple attendings, one or two a meeting. There was the great promised land of 12 clinical hours. I think it was a free golden espresso machine if we went out west. And at some level, when you're doing your 27th overnight and skipping precious moments with a newborn son to like walk around and say, no, that's where the kidney is, while residents look at their cell phones. You just kind of ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? What's going on? And so to have that rare student, that rare resident who comes up and just inspires the heck out of you and gets you so committed and back into ultrasound, he definitely has reinvigorated me for many more years, and thank you. And I think that's about it. So, anyway.
So our next group of awards for the morning are our mini fellowships. One thing that does really, as I said before, make our residency program special is that our residents learn to be theaters clearly inside the clinical area, but more importantly, outside of the clinical area. And we allow them to explore different niches and opportunities within emergency medicine through our mini fellowships. And so this class in particular has been extremely dedicated to that mission of producing active admissions for communities throughout the United States, where most of our residents go to, but also globally. So we will start off with our education mini fellowship awardees. Our first award goes to Taylor Searles. Taylor. First day of orientation, Taylor, with his big Texas brain, said to us, I want to go into medical education, and I want to make sure that I start on a project And Jimmy and I looked at each other, it's like, it's day one, guy, you gotta learn how to be a doctor. But he has truly indeed been an excellent education mini fellow, and we're very excited to have him as our real education fellow, the big fellow now, next year. Thank you. Our next award goes to Naya Delgado. You've been inspirational not only in medical student education, but in resident education, and you are a consistent face in all of our mini fellowship meetings, so thank you. Our next one goes to Juliana. Juliana attended every mini fellowship meeting that we've had, from the cooking class to all the other pizzeria talks that we had. You've been instrumental in medical education, particularly when it came to interview season. Juliana showed up almost every interview day. Even if she wasn't interviewing, she even came to match day. She got to see the candidates before I did. She, is definitely almost like in one of our APDs. So thank you for your contribution this year and throughout your 4 years. Thank you.
So I'm going to continue the education mini fellowship, and I just generally want to put a plug out that these residents are coming in and giving me their free time most times. These are in the evenings, after they've worked shifts, and they're coming in to learn extra things about educating, which every resident does. These residents have put in extra dedication to that. The next resident is Beth Hansen. And Bobak Zona. She's here, and Karen Top.
Okay, our next mini fellowship is health policy. Dr. Linda.
So I'm presenting this award on behalf of Dr. Foley, who is very sorry that he couldn't be here, but he will be at the ceremony tonight and be able to congratulate Dr. Paul Porterville on his own. But Matt actually wanted me to specifically say that he's really happy that you have been so integral in continuing the health policy mini fellowship. Since he left when you were still a junior resident, he's gotten to meet a lot of new residents that he wouldn't have gotten to meet otherwise, and he's really excited about continuing this in the future.
Okay, simulation again. Our simulation ladies.
So this was the first year that we actually started our Sim Journal Club, Resident Sim Journal Club. So these awards are for the seniors that really supported that vision and wanted to improve resident simulation, and had invaluable and innumerable opinions. So obviously, Sarah Hottie.
And Esther Kwok, we are so happy these days as our simulation fellow. And last but not least, Juliana, Dr. Jaramillo. She's been my advisee inside and outside the department, so we spend a lot of time together. Maybe not enough, but she's been amazing, bringing bagels, doing all of this amazing work for our division, and I really thank you for that.
Wilderness medicine.
in an attempt to be more like Bridge Center. I'd like to thank Paul and Matt for being the most.
So, as with a lot of other people that are doing mini fellows and then fellowship, I'm proud to present this to Juliana. Juliana has undergone the PEDS Mini Fellowship, which some people didn't really know existed, but it's actually relatively rigorous. And she has done a lot for PEDS, and she's helped us get a sewing machine, and we're very happy to see that she's going to join our ranks of PEN next year. Congratulations.
Okay, so that pretty much concludes all of our awards for the morning. We have many, many more awards that we'll be giving out this evening, so please join us. We're all very excited. We have some refreshments afterwards for everyone to convene and enjoy the class of 2019. Let's give one final round of applause. Again, it's been our pleasure. We are excited to see you guys go on and become the next group of clinical monsters. Thank you.